Please welcome now to the Imus Morning Program, our old friend Craig Crawford. Good morning, Mr. Crawford.
Good morning, I-Man.
You know, I want to get you. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well. I've been trying to decide if I'm afraid of China this week. We've talked about China all week, and I still don't know if we're supposed to be afraid of them.
I want to get your family and Dagan McDowell's family together. So,
hey, I've got something for something I turned my family on to was fresh shredded potatoes for hash browns. This thing called Simply Potatoes, and I have tried for years to make hash browns with that frozen stuff.
Yeah.
That you get, and it's just I never could get it right. I'd get them too greasy or not cooked or overcooked. But these fresh Simply Potatoes, they come in different kinds with peppers and or just plain. And it's the easiest way to make hash browns. I turned my parents onto it, and they turned some of our family in Kentucky onto it. It's all the rage in the Crawford household.
Where do you get them?
At the Safeway, at any grocery store.
What are they called? Have you ever heard of them, Charles?
I don't know what it is.
Called Simply Potatoes. And they've got all kinds of different, and they're not frozen.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, you eat, but does Deidre eat potatoes?
No, because there's too much sugar.
Good Lord.
No, there's too much sugar in them.
What are you left with? Those.
Well, I'm battling cancer. Most people aren't. That's why I don't eat. I mean, like I'm not against. I don't eat meat, or anything, but I'm not against people who do. And people should eat what they want to eat. All things in moderation.
Yeah. Okay.
Said my grandfather, who lived to be 92, and still smoked, by the way. Craig Crawford, we're talking with. He's a blogger for Congressional Quarterly's Roll Call, and he's one of the most popular news commentators in Washington, D.C.
Well, thank you.
And I like him, and a lot of other people do as well. Well, good riddance to Joe Lieberman, that backstabber warmonger
weasel.
I saw
you banned him.
Yes.
How many of your bans are ultimately lifted?
How many what now?
How many of your bans are ultimately lifted? Do these bans for life really stay for life?
They will with this bastard.
Really?
Yeah, because he's disloyal. He's disloyal and dishonest. I don't mind. I mean, sometimes I ban people like Chris Wallace of Fox News Sunday. I banned him. That only lasted about an hour.
Oh, okay.
Because, one, he's not dishonest, and two, I like him, and I watch his program, and he's great, and his program's great. So, and he's fair, you know.
But I mean, you and Lieberman been pals for like 25 years.
Yes, but Lieberman, yes, but he screwed me, big time.
How? I didn't quite get that.
Okay, I'll tell you how. He announces that he's going to that he's not going to run again, and so I get an email from my boss here at Fox, and he says, "Why don't you try to get him on?" And I thought it's a good idea, so I called Julie, and Julie can book anybody.
Yeah.
Or Bernard. I mean, she's fabulous. So he says, well, if she gets a hold of him, and we know how to get a hold of him, and his weasel staff says he's not doing anything. He's not doing anything Wednesday, and he's not doing anything Thursday. And then I discovered that he goes on Morning Joe. Now, if you want to go on Morning Joe, I don't have any problem with that at all.
Oh, okay. So they told you they weren't.
Yes.
But did you talk to him personally about it?
Well, no, I don't book to people personally.
Well, I know, but I mean, before you ban him for life?
No, I just expect people to be, I don't expect to try to book somebody. If they don't want to be on, all you need to say to Julie or Bernard is, I don't want to be on, thank you, don't call me anymore. Yeah. And that's fine with us. We never say anything about that even, by the way.
Well, you know why so many Democrats, other than the recent stuff, hate him so much, going back to the 2000 campaign?
Why? Because he was a warmonger, backstabbing war criminal? Other than that, why did they hate him?
It's an interesting story. It gets a little in the weeds, but when in the recount fight in Florida, one of the big issues was overseas military ballots that came in undated, and it was unclear, if they were valid, and so Democrats wanted to test those. And before they were able to do that, the legal team, Lieberman came out and said, we'll never challenge a military voter's ballot, ever, and took that off the table. And as it turned out, that is actually where Gore lost Florida, is among those military overseas ballots that came in many days later.
No.
And it's kind of in the weeds, but that is one reason a lot of Democrats never trusted Lieberman again. Some suspected he was working for Bush then.
Well, that, and we're talking with Craig Crawford and Imus when bring him that, and he's still trying to maintain that Saddam Hussein was cranking up weapons of mass destruction, which is insane, or that they're there. Well, he was supposed to be on this show Monday, but he's not going to be on. So you know what he can do Monday? What? He can go to Iraq and look for those weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, so that's what he can do.
Yeah, even Bush admits that it was wrong.
Yeah, so back to China now.
Yeah.
Are you all afraid you're scared about them, or you don't know?
Well, I mean, here, the thing that bugs me about this China discussion is the almost exclusive focus on economics, on currency and economic competition. The military stuff is as scary as anything. I mean, twice before this trip and during it, twice Obama threatened to deploy troops to Asia, directly threatened to do that if they didn't shut down North Korea. I mean, that's where it's gotten to. Our military leaders of the two countries don't even talk to each other because China cut off conversation back when, in January, a year ago, when Obama sanctioned arms sales to Taiwan. I mean, they haven't even been talking to each other, you know, and they're developing stealth fighters and all this kind of stuff. I mean, on the military side, I don't really understand the economic side very well, but the military stuff is really scary.
Well, and I don't know why. I'm talking to a guy. I hear Gordon Chang, who's a China expert, one of them, seemed like a reasonable guy, very smart, and he claims that there's no reason on God's earth for us not to tell China to stick it. There's nothing they can do. Everybody thinks there's stuff they can do. But what can they do? Nothing.
And then, you know, and Obama stoked up all this fear of China with, you know, it's a Sputnik moment and everything, and we get Americans all turned against them, but then it's not clear what we're supposed to do about it. I got a friend who lobbies for farmers, who has a member who, and this is serious, he doesn't take tobacco subsidies for his farm because he's afraid China would call in the debt and take his land.
No, I mean that's just. Hey,
people really think that kind of stuff.
No, I know they do. Hey, are you into this football this weekend?
No, I'm totally into my basketball, my Orlando Magic.
Oh, you are?
Oh God, yeah. I even gave DirecTV $170 so I could watch all the games. Or actually, the NBA gets most of it, I guess.
How good are they this year?
Well, they won 11 out of the 4. My mom kept count. She said that they had won 11 out of the last 14 games. Now, they had a 9-game winning streak, then a 3-game losing streak or something like that. But they're fun to watch. They're a roller coaster team. You never know. They're up, they're down. Oh. Sometimes they just go into a coma. Sometimes they're on fire. And they always close well at the end. They almost always lose the first quarter and win the third. Or I mean, they're just fun to watch.
Don't they have that guy Dwight Howard?
Yeah.
Oh, he's great.
And
Superman.
He needs to be a little more commanding, you know. I mean, he's been playing like 4 years, but he still seems kind of young, and he gets out there and he's pretty erratic and
starting to lose me here, Craig.
He's got all the tools to dominate the floor and just come in there and run the show, you know. But
I'm begging you.
Here we go.
Craig, stop!
Okay.
You're losing me.
I told you I was into the match.
I know you. I gotta go. See you. Thanks, Craig Crawford.